The audience has no clue. Pandit Hardayal recited verses from Manusmriti and other religious texts. The bulk of the audience do not understand what he says, but they bow their heads in respect and of the scriptures. He glances at the audience, which was spellbound at his erudition. He looked at child Nanak, who was listening very attentively, imbibing each and every word, and seems to have understood him very well. Pandit Hardayal continued, "All this is from our ancient scriptures. We should never ever question our scriptures. Anyone who questions it will not only go to hell himself, but his entire family and next 7 generations are also doomed. As you know, Brahmins, Kshatriyas and the Vaisyas wear the sacred thread. Wearing the sacred thread is a very holy and sacred ceremony amongst the Hindus. A Brahman becomes a true Brahman only after this ceremony. Similarly, a Kshatriya and the Vaisyas become true Kshatriyas and Vaisyas only after the ceremony of sacred thread. It is said in our Shastras that Janmana Jayate Sudra, Karmana Jayate Dvija. It means that by birth we are all Shudras, but by this ceremony we are born again as Brahmans or Kshatriyas or Vaisyas. Shock and or tactics by the Pandit. I tell you more in detail about the significance of this sacred thread. It is not an ordinary thread. It is spun and twisted by a Brahman. Its length is 96 times the breadth of the 4 fingers of a man. It denotes that one should be a brahmachari in thought, word and deed. It consists of 3 cords. Each cord represents a Veda, the Rig Veda, the Yajur Veda, and the Sam Veda. It also represents the trinity of Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. The knot in the middle represents the formless Brahma, the supreme principle. The 3 cords also represent the 3 aspects of Maya, the Sattva, the Rajas and the Tamas. The knot in the middle represents Ishvara, who controls Maya. The 3 cords of the sacred thread reminds the wearer that he has to pay off 3 debts he owes to the rishis, to his ancestors and to the gods. The 3 strands also represent past, present and future, the 3 states, the wakefulness, dream and deep sleep. It also represents the 3 dimensions known as heaven, earth and the nether regions. Another important meaning of 3 strands is Ida, Pingala and Sukhmani Nadi, through which the Kundalini energy manifests as supreme consciousness. After getting the sacred thread, a boy becomes eligible to recite the most pious mantra in the world, which is Gayatri Mantra. Gayatri is Vedmata. Just as water manifests in 4 different forms of ice, vapor, air and liquid, and fire manifests in the forms of burning, heat, light and movement, so also Gayatri manifests in the form of 4 Vedas, 4 kinds of knowledge. Gayatri is the mother and 4 Vedas her progeny. Those who worship God at the 3 Sandhyas and repeat the Gayatri holding the Brahman knot of their sacred thread derive immense strength and power. And you should also not forget that a Brahman meditating upon the Gayatri holding the Brahma knot has the power to bless and curse others. As per our Shastras, even gods are powerless before the curse of a Brahman, and blessings of Brahman can force the gods to give you all favors. Pandit Hardayal looked at the audience and noticed that the fear of curse was visible on their faces. However, he noticed that it did not have any impact on Guru Nanak, who was smiling and looked eager, waiting for his opportunity to say something. He thought it would be worthwhile to know what is going on in his mind. He addressed Guru Nanak in a very affectionate manner. Nanak, does this clear all your doubts about the sacred thread? I am sure it does. Unfortunately not, replied Guru Nanak. Okay, tell me what you are thinking about, I will clear all your doubts. Ask me any question you have in mind. Where is the gender equality? Pandit ji, tell me why do women do not get this Janeu? Asked Guru Nanak. That is not right, they do get it, but indirectly. You'll know when you marry. At that time we will give you another Janeu for your wife, said Pandit Hardayal with a smile on his face. He continued. It is explained in our religious books that the husband will wear a Janeu for his wife. A husband is like a god to his wife. Pandit ji, is that not unfair? And what if a woman dies before her marriage? No, it is not unfair as it is written in Manusmriti and Shastras. I told you before you should never ever question your religious books. It is a great sin. Besides, you should not talk about death at this auspicious occasion. Once we finish with your questions, I will recite some pious verses to purify the atmosphere of the sad things you have just said. Pandit Hardayal mutters something from his mouth that no one could hear.